starting a few boys as, hey, this is, what kids do. So, the question I posed to us is, so, will you personally take somebody that's on your level, educated, looking for a job, or do you go on these guys with that man saying that? Just a question, right? That I hit her with. One Sunday morning, just asked her, she said, well, I don't know. I said, well, how do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you see yourself supporting the man, taking care of him every day, and with no job, and you going out here earning everything? You know what I mean? And that's kind of my upbringing because I saw that with my mother. My question was to my mother, why you like this dude? He ain't doing nothing. And they have these high standards for me and my brother. Like, wow, okay, so this came. He don't do nothing. So I understand. You got these high standards for me, and I can't really tell you, no, I don't want to go to work, I don't want to school, nothing like that. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do nothing. But this guy ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, she couldn't really ask those questions for me growing up. So what I learned being 43 years old at this point, people will be people. The growth and development within yourself is what it is, period. How do you perceive yourself? How do you look at yourself? Where you want to be at? Okay. That was the question. That's to my point.
Maybe it's not the big thing. This would be a good topic. You can tell it's like, sure. Nice. So you got different phases of people mentality. So you might grow up with a single family home and it's a mother raising a boy, a child, a male, different type of values. Different type of value. But like they would say, 9 out of 10, the boy get kicked out, but the daughter stand on. Right. But the man can do it, divided and blah, 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 blah. So when the female knows that, or a male raises his daughter, he don't want his daughter to be able to bone, get a job. So the male puts that into the female, who now becomes independent thinking, like the 90 women it says, educated, blah, blah. No, we struggling. Good time to give the prime example when Evan, James and Flo on the same job, right? Knocked them out, but they stayed together. Right. So the same thing. So now when you come out, and my father taught me the type of male I should get, like he was strong, then I don't give you that type of respect or chance because you ain't know my status. That's what my father told me. Basically, he wasn't before. He the cat wasn't. Right. I'm saying, but now you're trying to flip the script now, and now you make it hard for the guy who was him in that era. Right. So that's what I'm saying. So me, think back, I didn't have a problem with. I don't know. I tell people I have no excuse. I was raised by a strong black man who supported a strong black woman. My father raised me with support of understanding the passion and the love and respect of black women. I'm raised like the black man can't rise no higher than a black woman. That's what brings you up also. So I'm a balance. But I would never say, to some of the greatest different people here, that my mother raised me to be a man. Never. I take nothing from her. I say that my quote is, I was raised by a strong black man with a stronger but supported black woman. It was things that she taught me to passion. Of women, something like that, to respect. Also, the strong black woman with education, that's sexy. You know what I'm saying? To you. Yeah. Because think about it, I never had nothing.
Okay, now, I'm gonna interrupt you. You said that the educated woman is sexy.
Yeah.
Okay, I come from Detroit. I don't come from Chicago. So my dominant dating experience has been in Chicago. So Detroit is labor. Okay, for me, because I'm born in 1967. Okay, that's Motor City. So I like a man in overalls. I'm an intellectual. That's God given. That's just design. Like Jane Kennedy was just beautiful, and she didn't do nothing to get it. I didn't do nothing to be. I like the guy that can get dirty. It don't bother me if you get up the car. You understand? None of that bothers me. None of that. But what I find is that those guys
play that role and they don't have the urgency of defining where they are. And that becomes a crutch.
Okay.
So to run into someone that's intellectual, now you're going to force me to do something that I've done on my own. Why would you want to do that?
I never see it as force, though.
Well, it is because
it's force by default.
It's a force by default.
Absolutely.
Trying to keep up.
Well, it's not even that. It's just it's life. Like when you look into our neighborhoods are the way that they are is because, for the most part, the majority of us don't attempt to evolve. We were just talking about education and how the parents aren't really involved. We can't knock the educational system and at the same time we're not involved in it. So therefore, when you look at the situation between the man and the woman, you hear about women being more educated. It does put a little fear in a guy's heart that doesn't see himself being able to revolve in your circle. Because, if you have an education, more likely you have friends that are educated and, the discussions that you have, the experiences that you have. Most guys that don't feel like they have that much in common.
But what if you, and this goes back to him saying that being an intellectual is sexy, what if that's all it is for you? Do you understand? Like, you can cut that off. Like, when you walk in your house, all of that is hung up on, like it's minimized to...
We're culturally deprived, So, and that's another thing that, so like what Carlos was talking about as far as 60s, 70s, 80s. Nowadays, we're culturally deprived. There is no true African-American culture.
Well, I mean, the intellectual part is part of communication.
Right.
That's the main part of a relationship is communication.
Yeah.
You cannot communicate if you don't have that intellectual, talk about politics, talk about our community, talk about what's good for the family. If you're not communicating on an intellectual level,
most guys,
right.
Do you actually believe do? I mean,
they don't. Yeah, you get caught in the physical aspect. But like Carlos said, as an intellectual man, I find that sexy too. Me and Brother T, we watched the interview with Jill Scott.
Okay.
Radio hit. And she told us, she said, any man that approached me now, I would eat him alive. And I was like, and we had a talk, we had a candid discussion. We was like, as a man, if I ran into Jill Scott, how would I approach this man? How would I, as an intellectual, approach this woman who's well-versed? You know what I mean? And she knows who she is. You know what I mean? How would I approach? Even though I'm married, I'm just, everybody can't understand. How would I approach this woman?
Guys, what did y'all say?
No. Let's just cut through all the crap. He has to go through bruises. So then you see, no, I don't want to deal with this chick. So then you see a man starting to back away, and she's wondering, what's wrong? I don't need that. I work just as hard as you do. I'm a 9-to-5 guy. I come here, I'm tired. I know you're tired too. But you can't come here and say, well, hey, I got this, I got PhD, what you got? Man, what man wants to hear that?
See, that's part of the problem now with most strong black women. They think they're independent. So they have one thing, so they come home to you. And I was trying to get so I don't need you. You just said because I want you to be there.
Thank you.
And that's the issue. And it's like a lot of times, a lot of families are separating their money. You got the man got their bank account, the woman got their bank account. That's driving the first wedge and everything. So now it's not like an old days with all the yeah.
Okay.
So
what do you do now? Because you just like he opened it up, you opened it up. What do you do when the intellectual does still have those values? Remember, I'm 46. I'm not 26. So I'm still coming from, if you make $1 a day and I make $30 a day, we got $31 today. And then we got the 4 bills we got to pay. And this is what we got to eat. And then if we got something left, we can go to the show. That's just straight Detroit post.
But that's
just a Detroit thing, though.
No, I'm saying because it's my book, so I'm saying I'm coming from my perspective with the question. I'm saying
No, I mean, hear me out as far as that. What I mean by that is, I just think that's a universal type of thing, if you will. When we was brought up, and you brought up in a household where there's a husband and a wife, and they had those struggles in those times where they made ends meet. That's what you drive off of from your childhood.
Right.
Just like my man was saying and we talk about how times is different, the family is a thing that is very rare nowadays.
Yes, sir.
You understand? The family did a lot, and it was the cornerstone of the black community for just some underlying reasons. For the simple fact you all sat down and you ate together and you communicated. The fact that you all had to cross each other's path. You had to speak. Your parents instilled into you certain values that you carried as you came from youngin' to growing up. Even though you may stray, you may come back like the word says. For example, the family made you go to church every Sunday until you decided to do it on your own. But also, the hidden curriculum of the whole thing is you picked up on things that your parents did.
Right.
And just like everyone is saying about certain aspects, those were the things that you looked for in your mate.
Right.
Okay? Just like myself, I denied myself a lot for the simple fact I didn't see someone that I could grow with. But that's how I was raised. I looked for someone to grow with. And yes, it is a struggle for a black man to find a good white woman. I mean, but it's the other way around as well. And if you came up in a time like ours, and now the black family is like non-existent, and you have my baby daddy and my baby mama who got 2 other baby daddies with 3 other baby mamas, you got a mess. And so now it's, okay, the strongest survive. So I'm going to put in my children, look, you need to get this for yourself because you can't rely on somebody because I couldn't rely on somebody back then.
So you're saying that's what brings the intimidation?
That's where all of it kind of comes from.
Okay.
It comes to a head at that.
Okay.
It's a cycle.
It's a whole
It's a
cycle.
cycle. It's a cycle.
It happens in context because you're catching the residuals of the backlash of guys that have been beat by people who don't act like it. So that takes rare to have a woman with that much education to be able to deal with people on a normal basis. Because it's like, I've accomplished this. So, it never should you dumb down your intellect. You should be able to talk to people. You know, I don't have a PhD, but I'm in the company of doctors on a regular basis. I can talk to you, and I can talk to anybody from any level.
Right.
It doesn't matter your education level, but it does matter your education level because what paper you have does not dictate what your intellect is.
No, it doesn't.
Our issue that we have right now in our community goes right back to what it said. We don't communicate.
Now,
We don't communicate on a regular basis. We don't actually just talk. I need to understand where you're coming from. You need to understand where I'm coming from. We may be coming from some different backgrounds. But there are some similarities of where do we meet in the middle. And a lot of guys don't want to deal because they want to eat. They don't really want to tackle having to become intellectual. Okay, if I don't know, then how do I? Because we lost the chance, so to speak. You know, when I was coming up, if it was somebody that you took interest in, you had to figure out.
that's right.
Yes. But they don't want to figure out by communication. You know, what it is that you, okay, well, I need to have a conversation with the dad because the dad is involved. He's going to pick, okay, there might be somebody you want to talk to. Then you need to get a hold and talk to the mom. The family unit is not there anymore. It's not there anymore. And so that's where you run into an issue where people want to pop. We got so much popular stuff. It's easy to get in, easy to get out.
Yeah.
And there's no actual solid foundation for our family unit.
That's right.
And that's really where our issue comes, especially with the dating game.
Okay, so you're saying that question about intimidation, when a man is intimidated with a woman that has more or is intelligent